Let's begin.
Here we go! Hi, everybody!
Start the insanity.
You are not worried, are you?
Me? No.
Well, we're waiting.
Hello, welcome to Super Media All-Stars. We are a weekly podcast, and tonight we are talking about movies. I'm your host, John Harris. I'm joined by one other All-Star, Jake Boston.
Bang, bang, bullet, gun.
We're back with another one-on-one, but this time with the Lego Movie 2.
The second part.
The second part. I didn't know that was actually the title.
Yep.
So I thought it was just called 2. So we're going to go over our impressions there in a little bit later. I'm excited to talk about it because I've been looking for this movie for a long time.
Yeah, me too. It's been 5 years since the first one.
Which seems kind of late.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that, and I don't think it's a good reason, but the reason exists.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But before we dive into the brick world that is the Lego Movie, it's been a while. We kind of wrapped up our end of 2018 stuff. It was a chunk this year.
Yeah, we've been on like a 2 to 3 week hiatus, but we've had stuff to podcast to put out.
Exactly.
So it's nice to finally get back in here and start doing this again.
We had our Glass review, but then we also had 4 parts to our end of the year discussions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was quite the chunk.
A lot of editing.
Indeed.
Well, when you do video,
Yeah, it's always
it's like triple the time.
But in that meantime, we probably got some stuff to check out as far as we've watched.
Well, of course I do, John. I actually don't have a lot, as much as I would normally do. I'm trying to catch up on Oscar movies that I kind of missed.
Oh, yeah.
Like we did our top 10 list already, but Oscar nominations came out, and out of all of them, I only needed to watch 2 more.
Oh, nice.
So I watched them like 2 days in a row in the theaters.
Oh, it's still in theaters, too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because whenever Oscar movies happen, whenever they're nominated and they've been out of theaters for a while, they'll get put back into theaters because the nominations give them a boost.
Oh, Black Panther had that, too, didn't it?
Yeah, it had like a random 1 week where you could go for free. It was very weird.
I remember that now.
Yeah. One of the movies I saw was Green Book.
That doesn't even ring a bell.
Green Book stars Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali.
Is that the poster that like them in a car?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
It's about Mahershala Ali. He's a pianist, and he's traveling the United States during the 60s when, it's kind of bad for an African American to go down south.
Sure.
It seems very formulaic, and you know exactly what's going to happen all the time, but I really enjoyed this movie.
What is it genre-wise? Because I have no idea.
Dramedy.
Dramedy?
Definitely. It's directed by Peter Farrelly, so one of the Farrelly brothers.
Okay.
Like Dumb and Dumber and Kingpin and all that stuff. So this is like his first serious movie.
Weird. Sounds weird.
It is weird, but like the comedy that's in here is really well done.
I don't think I ever can picture Viggo doing comedy.
He's good at it. Like,
is he?
Okay, imagine him doing your Sopranos Godfather accent. That's
what
he
really?
does here.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he's like a stereotypical 1920s mobster person.
Weird.
It's very weird, but I liked it quite a bit. I didn't see it for this long because I just thought like, whatever. This seems like so generic, and I'll catch it whenever it's on Netflix.
Sure.
But I'm glad I saw it in theaters because I was totally surprised. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's nominated for one of the best movies of the year?
Best Picture.
Wow.
Yep. The Green Book would not make my top 10.
Did they ever decide on an Oscar host? Wasn't that a thing?
They're not going to have one.
What are they doing?
I don't know. This is the first time in 30 years where they're not having a host.
Because the whole Kevin Hart thing fell out?
Yeah. And I know The Rock was approached, but he didn't have enough time to do the show justice, so he decided to turn it down.
That's okay. What was the other movie you checked out?
The Favorite.
Nope, never heard of this one either.
The Favorite is directed, I'm not going to give this director's name, Yorgos Nominos or something like that. It's horrible, but he's made some really fucking weird movies. He made Dogtooth, which I really liked.
Okay.
Really fucked up. It's a foreign film. And then he also made The Lobster, which I really didn't like that much. But again, it's a weird-ass concept. That one is Colin Farrell goes to like this dating retreat. Everybody's supposed to find their soulmate, but if you don't, then you kind of get reincarnated into like an animal of your choosing.
Gotcha.
It's a fucking
weird.
It's a fucking weird movie.
That's weird.
His movie before The Favorite was The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That movie's amazing.
That was from 2017, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
No, that was another one I never got around to.
The Killing of a Sacred Deer is fucking amazing and ballsy, and I loved every bit. I actually didn't love every bit of it. It starts so slow, but it does that purposefully. And then it constantly keeps on building and building, and tension is so high. Oh my god. Killing of a Sacred Deer is great.
But this one, how compared to that?
It's about the same as The Lobster for me.
Oh, really?
I gave it a 3 out of 5. I wanted to like it a lot more, but I'm not a big period piece person.
Sure.
And I know that they do different, like, this is like, oh, hey, it's a period piece, but during the dance scene, there's some weird-ass breakdance scene. And they curse a lot in this movie. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
And the ending really pissed me off. It was dumb and tried to be artsy, and I hate that.
Yikes.
I hate it when a movie doesn't do... It has artsy shots, but I hate it when the ending is artsy when nothing else in the movie plot-wise was artsy.
Right.
Hate that type of stuff.
When is the Oscars this year?
This month, like a couple weeks,
Couple weeks?
Yeah.
We need to do an Oscar prediction show.
I would be okay with that. I don't know if we're gonna have time because we haven't talked about this yet. But next week is Happy Death Day to You.
That's true.
The week after that is How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Yeah, the 22nd. Yeah.
We might not have a chance anymore.
That's true. We'll have to see what the rest of the crew is up to.
Yeah.
We'll see how the stars align on that one. The all stars align on that one.
Oh.
That's right. Not too much new on my end. The one new thing that I checked out maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not sure how long the show's been on Netflix. And it turns out Danielle's a big fan of it. Now it's Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yes.
She just got me into it like mid season 3.
But did you watch season 1 and 2 prior
I watched
to
like
that?
the first 2 episodes of season 1.
Okay, season 1 I think is very like NBC sitcom, just whatever. It's very basic.
And that's what I remember of it.
Yeah.
But like, it still feels a little sitcom-y, but it's just off the bat crazy. It does whatever it wants
Yeah.
kind of show now.
Yeah.
Especially like in season 3 where, I got caught up on most like what the plot is going on here, what experiences she's had.
Mm-hmm.
But man, the vast of characters, and I recognize them from other shows like the lady from Third Rock.
Yeah, Jane Krasowski,
Right.
I think is her name.
Yeah, but man, that show's so good.
I saw season 1. I kept up with it seasons 1 through 3, but then season 4 got cut into 2 different parts.
Oh,
and
really?
I started season 4, but I never finished part A, and I know part B to season 4 just recently came out. I just need to stick with it and watch all of it again, or not watch all of it again, but pick up from season 4 again, because I loved season 2 and season 3 was very good.
See, and I'm like, I think season 4 is the end of it, right?
Yeah, it's over now.
The plot lines that go in this movie are just off the wall.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's just so much potential there.
The way Netflix is going, like if they don't have the viewers, they're just going to cancel it outright.
Like, just for example, I remember Titus from the first season.
Yeah.
Just seemed a little quirky.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's just off the wall, dramatic, and it's like they've totally fleshed out that character.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, a bunch of weirdo characters that make for great, but yet still heart-filling moments in that show.
Did you ever see 30 Rock?
Uh-uh.
It's the exact same humor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like a beat every 30 seconds, or a joke every 30 seconds. It's like nonstop in that show. It's awesome.
I think Tina Fey is a producer on
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
Yep.
The only reason I got on that show the first time was I recognized Kimmy from The Office.
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing something else was very nice.
Tina Fey plays a character in season like 1 and 2, the end of season 1 and part of season 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think the reason I like it too is that it's not a Netflix hour show. It's like a half hour.
It's like 22 minutes.
Yeah, and you can knock that out. You knock 2 or 3 episodes out in a sitting.
It's a hell of a show to drive to, let me tell you.
Yeah.
That's what I do. That's my bread and butter is just like 22-minute sitcoms.
Well, that and like that show in particular is so much. I mean, there is definitely some benefits to watching everything.
Yeah.
But so much is done with their voices.
Yep.
There's so much character in those voices.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad I'm back into it. We'll see how long I can stick with it. I'm not usually a big fan of Tina Fey humor. And there's like a little bit of Tina Fey humor in here.
But what have you watched? Just SNL?
SNL and some of her movies. And
See, I'm not into Baby Mama. I didn't like that movie.
yeah, what's the one with her and Steve Carell? Date Night?
Date Night was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
Her TV shows are good. There's another random one called Great News that nobody watched. It was barely promoted when it was on NBC. It was on for like 2 seasons.
Oh, really?
About like a...
Yeah, I never even heard of it.
It just kind of came and went, but now it's on Netflix. And it's just as good as Kimmy Schmidt, and it's just as good as 30 Rock.
Interesting.
And it's got a good cast of characters, too.
The only other thing I've been checking out was we're, thanks to a nice shared account or shared password, we are into the 3rd episode of Discovery, Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, that's all it's at. Doesn't that come out weekly?
It does.
Yeah,
And
that's so weird.
I'm not usually a watch by the week show.
Yeah.
But this one is Star Trek season 2 of Discovery has been really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I even am not a big Star Trek buff. I just casually enjoy them.
Yeah.
But as far as like some now kind of understanding some of the lore, and of course Danielle's gonna fill me on everything I need to be filled in on. It's really good. The production values is really good on this show.
I'll never watch it, but I'm glad you're liking it.
Yep. I'll tell you what, man. There's a lot of garbage on that All Access.
There's nothing on there.
I don't mean between your Big Brother.
Yep.
Is the only thing I see cute on that thing.
Because that's all that we watch.
Is that
That's
paying?
it.
Is that paying off this season? That celebrity? Not really.
The celebrity seasons are always a kind of a joke because they're only on for like 3 weeks.
Is it over now, or is
No,
it like a week and a half in?
It ends on Wednesday.
Wow, it was a quick 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's super fast. And Tom Green was a huge mess, but he made watching it exciting. And he brought his weird quirkiness. Like when you watch the live feed, sometimes he just does his dumbass, like Freddy got fingered stick
Oh yeah.
all over all the time. And I think that stuff's funny, even though it's really stupid.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. I have one more thing.
Go for it.
Okay. I started a little bit late. I watched Fire Fraud. It's about the Fire Festival.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you seen any of those
I
yet?
seen promoted.
Okay, it was promoted everywhere.
Was this the one on Netflix or Hulu?
This is the Hulu one.
Okay, gotcha.
What did I give this? I gave Fire Fraud a 3.5 because it was entertaining, but I feel like the story can be told way better in about 10 years.
Oh,
when
sure.
everything is ready to go, because this just happened last year. I want to know more about it, but just the way that it was put out there didn't really impress me that much.
I feel like I got the most of the story from the Netflix trailer for it. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of dirty details that went into whatever the situation was.
Yeah.
But I feel like I got the gist of what happened from just the trailer.
You do, and from what I've heard, the Hulu documentary more focuses on the big promoter who put all this, or he didn't put it all together, but he was like the spokesperson for it.
Sure.
And how he is just like a big ass scumball, and he will just make you believe anything. He's like a type of salesman. What do you call that?
Con artist?
Pretty much. We'll say a con artist, because there are numerous times where like even after he's caught, he's still trying to like sell people shit. There's no good ending to this movie yet.
Right.
So they just kind of stop it whenever like there was no good reason to stop it. Just like, oh, we've run out of material, time to stop.
So the 10 years down the line would make a lot more sense because we feel a lot more details. And maybe his character hopefully would change.
Yeah, like everything would be done so they'd be able to tell a tighter story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my one main thing about documentaries. If there's not a good ending, then I kind of don't like it. And it's fun to like dig deep in more information because it's still coming out. Like there was an advertising group, Fuck Jerry is what their name is.
Okay.
Like a social media account that helped them promote everything.
Really?
And they've just been like through the ringer ever since this documentary came out, and they're being sued by a couple companies. They were promoting Comedy Central, but then different comics started saying, this site stole our jokes and didn't give us credit for it. And there's a whole bunch of weird things that you can look up after the movie's even out. And I know the Netflix movie was produced by that same company who helped put the Fire Festival together.
Really?
So that's kind of iffy. I've heard different things. I've heard people like the Hulu one better, people like the Netflix one better. I think they're just going to play together as like a big 3-hour-long movie because each one is 90 minutes long.
Gotcha. So maybe you can get some new information from watching both of them.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And would you rate this one?
3.5. It's okay. I probably wouldn't recommend it to a lot of people just because it's a weird documentary. It's not a good narrative. It just kind of takes you through the festival, but it jumps around a lot. And,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Probably won't be making your 2019.
Definitely not.
Everything is cool when we're part of a team. Everything is awesome when we're living our dream. Everything is
All right, Jake, let's jump into the main portion of our show. And as we saw, Lego Movie 2, the second part.
That's the title.
That's the title. It is opening weekend, and we saw this Thursday, opening night. My theater was dead, dude.
Mine was too. I went to the 4:00 showing with my daughter, and there were 10 people in the XD theater.
There was like 6 in ours, and I'm not sure. I mean, here in the Midwest, it's freezing right now.
It is.
And that night was particularly cold.
Yeah.
But I thought, man, this seems awful scarce for the Lego Movie Part 2.
And honestly, I think people might have Lego fatigue,
Maybe,
especially after Ninjago.
But that's what, 2017?
Both Batman and Ninjago came out 2017.
Yeah,
But it's been like a year and a half since that movie came out.
that's true. And I feel like I'm just going to jump into it. This first of all will be spoiler free. But walking into this, I was kind of still riding off the. I remember such good things about the first Lego Movie.
Yeah.
So I really I hate doing this, but I have high expectations for the Lego Movie Part 2.
There's a gift and a curse about having children.
Yeah.
And this can either go good or bad, but you watch a lot of kids' movies.
Yeah.
And especially when like a sequel to a movie comes out, I pump the previous movie hard on my kid, and hopefully it sticks. And Lego Movie stuck like crazy with my daughter Zoe.
The first one.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome.
It was very good, and I remember seeing the first one and loving it, except for the ending. Spoilers for the Lego Movie.
Sure.
We kind of have to go into it, the first one. But once like the real life portion started happening,
Sure.
it threw me out of it. I'm just like, why? They did not need to do this. I was loving everything the movie was doing up until then, when it started to get super just like, oh, hey, don't treat me like that, Dad.
A little meta.
I want to play, Dad.
Meta within itself.
Yeah. I hated that stuff when I first saw it. But I've seen the Lego Movie probably 15 times now.
Yeah.
And the more I see it, the more I like it.
I'm the same way. I feel like when the first time I saw the Lego Movie, I'm like, this is a good kids movie. But every time I watched it more, the characters just grow on you.
Yeah.
Especially like Emmett and just the personalities of each character
Mm-hmm.
really stuck with me. And that's what I remember fondly about the first one, is just the feel goods
Yeah.
from the first one.
And I know Chris Pratt is totally blown up, but like this is like one of his first starring roles.
I think it was one of his first animated. Maybe his only animated series.
Yeah, I can't think of any other animated thing he's done.
Yeah, but
yeah, him playing Emmett is just pitch perfect.
yeah, and where they go into the second one with him is pretty nuts as far as his character.
Can't wait to talk about it.
Exactly. When I first left the movie, I had a bitter taste in my mouth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I had high expectations just because I don't know if this is gonna be like the first one for me, where the first screening after I left, I was not too high on this movie. I was just kind of like, okay, I mean, that was kind of funny, and there was some good stuff in here that I definitely liked, but I was kind of bored. I was kind of bored for part of this movie.
Wow.
And I was surprised too. I was kind of just like very melancholy.
I like looking at reviews once I've seen the movie just to see what other people think about it.
Sure.
And a lot of people were saying that this is like the first one, except lesser. Like, everything is all right. That's what I heard a lot. It's not awesome. It's all right now. And they played towards kids more in this movie.
I can see that.
I think they do, but for plot reasons that make sense, which we'll go
definitely.
into more. But I was never bored in this movie.
Really?
There was a lot of musical parts in this movie
Yeah, like actual.
that weren't in the first. The first one only had Everything Is Awesome. This one has like 4 or 5 song breaks.
Which definitely threw me for a loop.
The first one, or not the first one, the first one with the new character, whatever, Watanabe or something, whatever
Yeah.
her name is, that one I really didn't like. Every single other one after that was great.
I got some things to say about the songs.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay. After walking out of the theater, I was still loving this movie, and it's not as good as the first, but it's really fucking close for me. I loved it. My daughter loved it. When we were walking out of the theater, they were handing out Lego kits.
Yeah,
Did
they
you get one
were.
of
I
these?
did.
And it was a Lego kit of Emmett and like a really crucial plot point to the movie.
Yeah.
And that made it so much cooler to me.
That was a nice surprise walking out and getting that.
Yeah. So as soon as we got home, we built them.
That's cool.
Because they were both handing out the same one, but we built everything, and my daughter was having so much fun building this stuff, and she was just playing with her Emmett, and it just made the experience that much better for me.
Marketing 101 right there.
Yeah.
Get your kids into Legos.
Yeah.
That's the hook.
Yeah. Oh my God. This fucking family in the Lego Movie 2 must be millionaires.
Yeah.
Because they have bins and bins and troughs of Legos that they've probably spent at least $10,000 on Lego
on
pieces.
high-end Lego pieces.
It's stupid how much stuff they have.
Yeah, they definitely get back to that into the plot of that in this Lego movie too, and that
then-
family in particular.
And then minor spoilers, but we go all throughout the house in this movie.
That's true. No longer just the basement.
And the house is huge.
Yeah.
And you get to see like what the house looks like on the outside because they go in their backyard. And yeah, holy fuck.
Just some overall things about the movie here. I feel like the animation didn't skip a beat. I'm not sure if it's or up to par with 2019, but it feels like it's right from 2014.
Yeah, which is totally fine. With Lego Batman, they decided to put more style into it because in the Lego movie, in this second one, like water is played by Lego pieces,
Yeah.
and all of that. But in Batman, they decided to stylize and put real water in it. And Ninjago decided to do one step further, do real water, real fog. It just felt so out of place compared to what the first Lego movie did.
Sure.
To where when you jump back into Lego movie 2, it's just like a breath of fresh air. It's just like, good. This is a memory that I like, and I'm glad you kept it, and I love going back into this world.
See, I don't really consider... I forget about the Batman Lego movie and Ninjago.
Did you ever watch the Batman one?
It never really appealed to me.
Lego Batman's good, but it's only good if you know like DC lore.
Sure.
But if you do, they do a ton of it, and it's very entertaining.
We got a little bit of DC lore in this movie, which was kind of nice.
More than I was expecting.
Yeah, kids won't get it. It's definitely for the adults.
But that's what I like about these movies. These movies do like smart humor, but kids love Lego, so they'll stick around with it. And there are a couple like jokes just for kids. Like I know that Batman flosses in here randomly.
Yeah.
And there's some like kid specific stuff, but then you'll also have pop culture references that they don't understand at all, but that I love.
And they're quick and they're quippy.
And that's Lord Miller to a T. That's
Yeah.
all of their humor.
But it was only written by him this time, right?
Yeah, they wrote it and they produced it. Just like Spider-Man,
Right.
which just came out a couple months ago.
Compared to the first one, they directed it.
First one, they directed it just because they had a vision for it and they wanted to make sure that went out like they wanted.
So we're going to get into that, but I feel like there's just a little bit of a spark that's not here that was really in the first one.
Okay, and I'll say it's hard. Okay, I want to have this conversation now because it's hard for them to go back to the originality of the first one
That's true.
and still feel fresh doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I totally get that because it's part two. You've seen the Lego movie at its time, the first time.
This one tries. This one tries really hard.
It does, and it's not afraid to go there.
Yeah.
It definitely it pushes the universe farther, and some things definitely did not work for me.
Yeah, me too. But I appreciate that they tried something that ambitious.
As far as cast rundown, there's so many cameos in this. I'm not even going to attempt to name all of them.
Yeah.
But we'll kind of go over just the majority of here. Like, I'm looking at a screen right now that shows like 25 people who have like maybe one line
Yeah.
in this entire movie, but it's a cameo.
Yep.
But the main majority here being Chris Pratt is back as Emmett. Mm-hmm. Emmett's still just as charismatic, innocent, and lovable as he was in the first one.
To a T.
What all he gets to do in this movie is very fun.
Are we doing his second character?
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
What's his last name? Rex? Like armor vest or...
Something really dumb.
It's very stupid.
Yeah, it's meant to
Wonder
be.
vest. Yeah, something stupid.
His voice acting for Emmett is so innocent and like,
Yeah.
perfect.
It's amazing.
You can just see Chris Pratt like talking to a mic and becoming this character.
Yep.
So I loved it. Elizabeth Banks comes back as Wild Style / Lucy.
Still good.
Very good.
Yep.
We had Will Arnett as Bruce Wayne / Batman.
Yep.
He was a little too much in this movie.
What do you mean?
Batman in particular I feel like he's heavier in this movie than he was the first one.
Heavier as in...
Dialogue.
Because the first one he was just played as a supporting role and now he has a bigger part and you don't like it?
No, it's not much that. I'm not sure if the Batman movie probably played towards how much he's involved here.
It does.
It probably does.
You would get where he's coming from a little bit better if you would have saw the Lego Batman movie.
Sure. But he's I'm not sure if he was definitely he was also a quick and quippy character in the first one. Mm-hmm. This one is a little more fleshed out, and I'm not sure if it exactly, me being picky, worked for me.
I'm more pissed that Michael Cera as Robin did not show up in this movie.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Because he was the best part of that movie. And I'm just mad that we only still got Batman. But it makes sense because it's in a kid's imagination. So
That's true.
Did you know that Will Arnett is now tied for playing Batman the most?
Based off his just voice work.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
But Christian Bale played it 3 times, and Ben Affleck has played it 3 times.
Boy, I don't think that's kind of an apples and oranges, isn't it?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's true. I
Yeah.
totally get you.
Yeah.
I bet you he's not done either.
No.
I could easily see a sequel or maybe a Lego Movie 3.
I would. Lego movie, the first Lego Batman movie didn't make a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, it's been kind of downhill ever since the first one.
That's true.
Ninjago didn't make anything.
Yeah.
But Lego Batman did okay, but not as good as the first one. Did you know the first Lego Batman movie almost made $500 million? It
Yeah.
was like 468 million or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I did some numbers pulling for
Oh,
this
did
episode.
you? Oh, okay. That was just pulled out of my head. So I'm
No,
glad
that
you
was really
actually
good.
did.
That was really good. That was close. The rest of the cast rundown, like I said, there's tons of cameos, and we'll probably mention these characters as we go and who played them. But
Okay.
I think we should just go ahead and jump into the spoiler section.
That works. This song's gonna get stuck inside your.
This song's gonna get stuck inside your.
This song's gonna get stuck inside your head.
Very nice. That was our transition into spoilers.
Yep, catchy song right there.
And that was one of the songs featured in the Lego Movie 2. This part is spoilers, so jump ahead to your timestamps if you want to avoid any spoilers. It's a kids movie, so we're gonna have some fun here in the spoilers section. Kind of instead of going over exactly what happens, plot twisting here, but I came up with some questions just for us to kind of flesh through here.
Let's do it.
Lego Movie 1 ended right where 2 picks off.
Like with the Duplo invasion.
Exactly. And I want to ask this real quick because it kind of leads into almost the entire plot of this movie.
Yeah.
Was it too predictable? Like, I know it's a kids movie, and I was wondering like how much they'd play into that, but they played it for the entire movie. And I was hoping for like kind of a new perspective, which they get there.
They do.
Where they started and where they ended is not. It was almost like I knew this movie was going. How this movie went is exactly how I thought it would.
But I think that's fine.
You think so?
It's a kids movie and it's teaching kids core values.
And I think so too. I was just hoping like a little more past what we're led to believe at the end of the first one.
Well, I think we do. Like, if you see the end of the first one and it's the Duplos coming down like, oh, we're going to eat you, or whatever the fuck they say. I don't even remember. But it just goes with them at like, oh my God.
That was a great ending.
And then it ends. And then it picks up exactly where that leaves off. And the first 5 minutes are great.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, very much so.
With like the Duplos just taking over everything. And then it jump cuts really quick to 5.5 years later.
Which I didn't see coming. I should have.
They have to, though.
Yeah, for the sake of the plot, they do.
I feel like this movie might have been a little bit stronger if they would have done it like 2 or 3 years later.
Sure.
Because they used the same kid from the first movie. And I want to say in the first movie he was probably 10, and now he's 15.
Yeah, it looks quite a bit older.
It's weird for a 15-year-old to still be playing with Legos like this.
Well, his dad's a collector, so maybe it's just ingrained in that family.
I mean, it might be, but I guess like you go downstairs and he's built Apocalypseburg.
Right.
Where like did his dad just stop?
Apparently, like
What
it
happened?
was such a big deal in the first one,
Yeah.
like him touching his stuff.
Yeah.
And then apparently the dad just okay. So that's one of
Okay.
this is a side tangent. So
That's fine.
I'm not even sure if Will Ferrell actually filmed anything new for this. I think he recorded maybe some new lines.
I think he had one day of VO when he wasn't filming Holmes and Watson.
Because I think the flashback we got of him is from the first movie with his son, and then everything else like you don't see him. It's just voiceover work.
Yeah, you never see him, but he has new lines, but literally it might be 5 or 6 different lines and that's it.
And he gets
like,
tagged in this movie like as a predominant part.
which sucks.
It's kind of lazy.
But I feel like they didn't have a choice. Like they had to make this movie, and if they couldn't get Will Ferrell, they had to do something. So they did the cheapest thing possible. They just did, oh hey, president business, I'm gonna go play golf somewhere. Goodbye.
Not only that, like Daniel also mentioned this, and this is something I would not have been attuned with, but like they just played the easy card of lazy dad or non-committal dad going out playing golf, or make the kids be quiet, stuff like that. And that's all you hear of Will Ferrell in this movie.
Or the mom, who's played by Maya Rudolph,
Yeah.
is like stepping on bricks, and she's yelling off screen to Will Ferrell, who is in the attic.
Right.
Like that type of shit I hate.
I didn't care for. So another part of this plot that I didn't really care for the too much. We get too much of the human world in this.
But to be fair, that stuff is like the humor of a 10-year-old and what he would do in his imagination. Now that the kid is 15, he's more moody and depressed and whatnot, and he's got feelings. So now the whole world that he's building is super depressed.
Well, I'm okay with that, but like how often they cut to the real world?
Yeah.
Like underneath the dryer, going up to the girls' room, and go flying through the like. If it stayed in the animation world, like I would have bought it.
See, again, after seeing the first movie for the first time, I would be totally with you. But the more times I see the Lego movie, the more I like the real world stuff. And once you open that treasure chest, you can't hide the treasure again. You have to go all in on that stuff. Just because the cat's out of the bag, you can't hide this stuff anymore. You have to go all in because this is the choice you decided to make.
Yeah, I just remember the real world in the first movie felt really mystic and like really awe-inspiring from the Lego perspective.
It did because it was only in there for 10 minutes.
Exactly. And this one, it's like, they're totally in tune now with the outside world being the bucket, the underneath the washer and dryer.
Yeah. See, that stuff I kind of liked. Like when they were going upstairs and they did like the Twilight Zone door.
Yeah.
Just to get out of the basement. I liked that part. And this song has a lot of musical numbers. And I think that's because a lot of this has to do with the girls' point of view.
Right.
And girls like singing to that kind of stuff. There's a lot of just a different perspective, which I like. And if you have to show that via real world footage, I'm okay with that too. What I'm not okay with, and what really weirds me out as to like, okay, this isn't happening like this in the real world, and I don't think a kid's imagining this, is everything that has to do with the dryer and the washer. And like when they actually start fighting in real life, where they actually get up and fight, I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
That part was weird.
I didn't like that, and I don't know why they decided to go that route.
Well, like in the first one, like you said in the second one, we're led to believe that everything's through imagination.
Yeah.
But then they cross into like Legos are actually their own beings in this one, which
I feel like it's still imagination because when they're fighting at like the very end point, Lego bricks decide to go underneath.
Yeah.
So I think it's still part of the imagination, but it's just weird having like two Lego people just fight and move like real Legos instead of like how they've been moving the entire movie.
Right. That's two adults depicting the narrative of a kid's movie.
You're damn right.
But that's what we do. That's what we do. Now, if you're a kid, you're just freaking all in, enjoying this ride.
I think so.
I mean, how did your daughter enjoy this thing?
She loved this movie.
For the entire movie?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, she liked every bit of it.
Because I don't think there was any kids in my showing. So I didn't really get a gauge for how kids would be enjoying it.
You went to the 7 o'clock showing.
Yeah.
That's why. I went to the 4 o'clock showing because my daughter goes to bed at 8.
Yeah.
So even though my showing had like 10 people in it, 6 of them were kids.
I was wondering if I was bored, if kids would be bored during this movie.
See, I don't know why you were bored. What parts were you bored at?
Mostly like the transitioning, like in most of the songs didn't do much for me.
What?
Yeah, like I think the only song I thought was actually remotely catchy was the reprises of Everything is Awesome, Everything is Not Awesome. And then I think the outdated singing of The Lonely Island in the credits.
You didn't like? Oh, you did like it.
I liked it.
I liked it too.
But it just felt like, oh boy, these guys haven't sung in a while, and this type of music doesn't like mesh well to not like mesh well, but you don't hear it much today. Those guys don't sing much.
I like how long they went in the credits.
Oh yeah,
it just went forever. It's like, and they actually said people that were in the credits and they came up. It was just a nice added touch.
And they just like pretty much narrated what's going on in the credits. Like, this is who directed, and like here's who starred in it.
And with all the Marvel movies where you have to stick through all the credits, I think about this stuff all the time. To where like, okay, I have to sit here. I'm not liking this. Once like the pretty animation credits are done and it just goes to shitty credits,
right?
I'm out and I'm not paying attention at all.
And then they pretty much
make fun of it.
They go along with that.
Yeah.
So it's very good.
I like that song a lot. So you didn't like Catchy Song?
I didn't.
It made sense in the movie, and the song I really liked as well. So I thought that was a great addition. So did you like that plot point? You said you were bored with that, like when they had everybody brainwashed.
Yeah. Or even the interchange between Batman and her.
Yeah.
That song.
That one.
Yeah, not much for me.
See, I like that one.
Really?
What was weird is that you think they're getting brainwashed because they're doing Catchy Song.
Right.
But then you go to the end where they're getting married and they're not brainwashed.
Yeah.
So that was a little weird. Like, I don't really know what's going on, and why would they be singing this song if they aren't brainwashed?
They're just enjoying themselves, literally.
Because in Bricksburg, in the first one, where they're singing Everything is Awesome, they constantly made fun of Emmett because he liked all of this, like, boring, rudimentary shit.
Right.
So now all of them like that, and it's okay to do that now? It's it's very weird. I don't know.
I was talking to Daniel about this, but I feel like some of the what would be twist in this movie I saw a mile away. The actual queen being good, like I never.
Oh, sure.
Like it'd be too easy if she was evil.
Did you see her being the heart?
No, I did not see that.
I didn't either.
So that was good.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But the whole Rex character, Chris Pratt, other character.
Yeah.
Like I just knew as soon as the get go that he was going to turn bad at some point.
But everything. Well, yeah, I did too. What I did not expect was time travel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I am a sucker for time travel. Anytime you add time travel into a movie, I am there, and I will give you at least a star bump.
Not only that, the time travel, but on the nose humor with just playing upon Chris Pratt. The Raptor reference, the space, everything we know about Chris Pratt is kind of made fun of here quickly.
And I don't know if you got this, but the Rex accent reminded me of Kurt Russell, and him and Kurt Russell were in Guardians 2.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like, it was a mix between John Wayne and Kurt Russell.
Yeah, now you say that, I can kind of get that.
And I loved it. And the Raptors having subtitles, I thought was very funny. Even all the time travel references I loved. Like, they go Back to the Future, bam. Then they do TARDIS, bam.
Right.
And, like, when they're introducing the robots and, like, I don't even remember what the hell they're called. They're like, oh, your nerd friends will love this.
Yeah.
Just little fucking jokes like that are great.
While we're on the subject of Rex and kind of, like, underneath the dryer, what transpires there.
So weird.
It's weird, but that's where it gets into, like, the, not really a theme, but, like, what is the meaning here? Like,
Yeah.
what's the kid value here? Never losing the sense of who you are, which they were trying to make Emmett this tough guy, be in charge, and that's what Rex ended up being. And Wildstar finally realizes that she just wanted Emmett to be Emmett.
Well, again, this is a trope that is in a lot of kids' movies.
Yeah, it's true.
So if it's going to be in Lego Movie 2, I'm okay. And like I said, if I am entertained by this rudimentary concept, I am all in.
Yeah, I actually didn't see. Another thing I didn't predict, but I actually enjoyed, was Emmett the one destroying like the ceremony, the marriage thing.
But again, the whole time travel thing makes sense.
Totally.
Because it's Emmett from the future playing by Rex. He's like, okay, if I want this guy to be like me and we're going to like meld into this person eventually, he has to do this on his own.
Right. And outside of that conflict, did you like the whole brother and sister thing, like getting along for the sake of playing with their Legos?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so too.
not?
Wasn't impactful as the father-dad relationship or the son and father in the first one.
Yeah.
But
No, definitely not.
But like just hey, get along and you guys can share your Legos.
But being a father, John, being a father of two,
Yeah.
one of the scariest things is having your two siblings hopefully love each other and play with each other.
Yeah, that's totally true.
And I think my lucky star is that my 3-year-old likes my 8-month-old.
Yeah.
And they play together all the time.
That's good.
Yeah. It helps that they're both girls right now.
Yeah.
Especially a 15-year-old boy, and this girl had to be, I mean, honestly, less than 5 years old, but she looks a hell of a lot younger.
Exactly.
They're just two different worlds.
That made me think of like Brent and I growing up, and we always fought like over everything.
I fought with my brother too. I was a total dick.
Yeah, me
growing
too.
up.
I can understand like
No, we fight about video games and we fight about other stuff, but Legos are just like the thing that this movie is centering around. You can fight about anything.
Exactly. So that being like one of the morals here, I thought was good. Oh boy, everything with Maya Rudolph, oof, I did not care for.
The whole stepping on Legos was very cringe-inducing.
Too easy.
Yeah.
It was a little too easy, and
Yeah.
then
and she did it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I was like, God, stop doing this.
yeah, that's why I thought it got too much into the. Okay, let's just get what we need to out of the human world,
Yeah.
and get back to the Lego world, because I don't want to see Maya Rudolph do shtick.
But I like Maya Rudolph being the mother. I do. I just feel like they didn't do anything with her.
No, because I feel like it's just a cameo thing, and that's what most of this side characters in this movie are, is just cameos for the sake of cameoing.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not going to go down the list here, but if you're interested to see who played who in these quick cameos go down the Legolas cast down.
Can I talk about my favorite cameo though?
Yeah, please.
Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah.
That was so fucking good.
Yeah. I didn't think it was him at first, but once he appeared like the second time, like, oh, that's definitely him.
I didn't think it was him too.
But
yeah. They randomly like cut to him. I don't even remember what the first one was, but then it has Wild Style like going in the air ducts, and he's just randomly there.
Yeah, it's like, this is from Bruce Willis. This is what I do. This
Yeah.
is my stick.
That was great. And he pops up one other time. I don't even remember what it is.
It's like towards the end, but he's like coming out of the vent, or he's in the vent
yeah,
again.
every single time was great, and it was like, oh, okay, that's fucking hilarious.
That kind of leads into the favorite scenes and least favorite scenes here. But one of my favorite scenes was just Jason Momoa doing Jason Momoa as
Yes.
Aquaman.
Yes,
Like,
they even
light
said
up
like
a-
the my man thing.
Exactly, like that's the thing they took away from Justice League.
Yeah, but then they also had the other Aquaman, like the old school Aquaman. Did
Oh,
you catch that?
yeah, I did.
So we're like, okay, all of our real heroes are gone, but now here's like old Aquaman and some other like operatic superhero person. That I thought that was funny because nobody likes old Aquaman.
I feel like the cameos are like the characters from the first Lego movie, probably because it was the first one, but had so much more of an impact than the cameos in this one.
I agree.
Like seeing Gandalf the first time, or Morgan Freeman wasn't even in this one.
He was, but he booked it fast. Like he was in the very beginning, but the ghost just flew away and then he was done.
Oh, that's true. That's right. That's
Which
right.
I don't know if they couldn't sign Morgan Freeman, or I don't know if they just didn't know what the fuck to do with a ghost in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was out.
But he was one of the best parts about the first one.
He was. I liked him a lot.
Because he had a lot of quippy humor as well.
Yeah.
And he played to the narrative. But so the other thing I want to ask you was, because they do so much quippy jokes and there's a lot of references to things, did you find it funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why that's the main reason why I like these Lego movies, is because it's sharp humor.
I'm not sure if it just went above my head or I wasn't paying close enough attention, but I feel like it happens so quick.
Well, that's the thing. We were just talking about Kimmy Schmidt. It's that type of humor.
It
It's just
comes
like,
in-
hey, you better be paying attention because you might miss something that you will find funny.
And I think most of it was like trigger references or sentences that come and go really quickly, especially from Emmett.
Yeah.
Emmett's like probably the best at it, but he says something very cute and innocent when something serious is going on, but it goes by so quickly and you're on to the next thing.
It's Lord and Miller humor, I'm telling you.
So I'm not-
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs does it. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse does it. Lego Movie does it. The fucking Last Man on Earth did it. Like, everything that they do is so smart and quick, and you better be paying attention.
that makes me wonder if it was too much.
No way.
You don't think so?
No way.
I walked away thinking like I don't remember half the jokes because they happen so fast.
That's why you will love rewatching this movie, because you'll catch things you didn't catch the first time. That's why I love this type of humor.
That's why I'm hoping so. By rewatching it,
You just said with the first one, that's what you did.
it grew on me.
Yeah.
If I had to watch it like 3 or 4 times to really appreciate it,
I think this one will do the same thing.
I hope
really do.
Because I'm still sitting pretty mediocre on it,
Ah,
and
that's disappointing.
it is because
Because I keep on hearing that from every single reviewer. And I don't know if it's just me liking this movie more than other people, but I really do think that rewatches will help this. But the first watch, I thoroughly enjoyed from front to back. And just because the first movie did it better doesn't mean this movie is like so much below the first one.
yeah, it's
The first one was so fresh when it came out. It looked like nothing I'd ever seen before.
exactly.
And it's hard to have a follow-up live up to that. But I think this comes really close.
The
I
whole-
would say my weakest part would probably be that assassin character. The one who has the mask,
Oh,
the visor.
yeah.
And then I thought the reveal was going to be something big, but it's not.
No, it's just it's just a character.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fleshed out.
I never cared about that character ever.
Well, once you get the reveal, there's nothing there to flesh out.
Yeah. The reveal just landed with a wet fart.
Yeah,
It's just like, why?
and her reveal just ended up being like, no, we're the good guys.
Yeah.
You guys are the bad. It helps the plot get further, but you're kind of invested into her because you think she's something, and she just ends up being a plot point, which is kind of a disappointment.
The first movie actually jumped to different lands based on like Lego play sets.
Right.
So this one doesn't have a lot of like memorable scenes or settings for me, just because they don't do that. They make their own thing.
Right. It's like the kids actually meshing different Lego lands into one.
Yeah.
And it's like cool because that's what kids do.
Yeah.
But there's like a certain like cool look to a finished Lego product
Oh, definitely.
that what Mr. President had. Is
Yeah.
that what his name was?
Yep.
That had in the first one that looked, oh, this is what Legos would look like animated. Mm-hmm. And maybe I missed that a little bit because, like, walking through Emmett's house in the beginning of the movie, I really liked just
Yeah.
his little, like, what do you call it, twin couch thing.
Yeah, but I think in this one, he makes like a triple decker.
Yeah, which I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Just his little moments and.
Or in this one, he makes a triple decker couch turned into like a mech that gets destroyed instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
That was funny.
I did like some of the things I actually did enjoy laughter wise was the little stars.
Yes,
Yeah,
they were so good.
They were so good.
I'm in so much pain.
Exactly. Yeah.
The agony.
Yeah.
That was really good. I want to name my favorite new character because every time this person was on screen, I couldn't help but like fucking lose it. It was great. It was the banana.
Oh, you thought the banana was funny?
I absolutely love the banana.
I thought the banana stick was dumb.
Oh no, it was great because I knew immediately it was voiced by Ben Schwartz, and he's just like this banana trying not to slip, and I don't know why, but every time I just thought that was the funniest fucking thing.
Oh, it's so weird. I thought
Because you know how easy of a joke it is.
it is, and they do it.
Yeah, but it's so good. I couldn't help it.
No, we just kept slipping and falling.
And his voice was everything.
That's true.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, I fucking loved it. It just reminded me. Oh, I don't know why I shouldn't have liked it, but I loved that part. Now I feel stupid for liking it.
No, I was wondering, like, because obviously there's a point there to make him funny because he appears 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
and it's always the same shtick.
Uh-huh.
Like, I sure hope I don't.
I really hope I don't fall this time.
Exactly. It's so terrible.
Yeah, and he's climbing up like this giant mountain.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Every time it got me.
It sounds funnier actually out of the movie. I don't know.
It hit for me in the movie too, just because I knew like, oh my god, this is so fucking stupid.
All right, I think that's a good time to jump back into the review portion of our show. Before we get to our own personal final thoughts, let's go over some box office numbers because I'm actually finding this pretty interesting on a comparison here.
Yeah, I haven't followed this at all, so I'm intrigued.
So, Lego Movie 2 opened to a Thursday preview and Friday night numbers total of being 8.5 million opening, which is extremely low.
Oh no!
And
There's like nothing to compete with it right now either.
there's really not. So, Box Office Mojo is predicting like a $30+ million opening.
That's not good.
It's not, considering the first movie pulled in $69 million its opening weekend.
And that sucker had legs too.
It did, because it ended up being like $257 million domestic total. I think it made up, like you said, just shy of a half.
500 million.
500 million, yeah.
Yeah. Worldwide. And this movie only has 2 weeks until Dragon 3 comes out.
Oh,
How to Train Your
yeah.
Dragon 3, where it's just going to just die.
Get demolished.
So if this movie makes 100 million, it'll be lucky. And that's so sad.
I couldn't find a budget for it, but I know the first one pulled in a $50 million budget. And I feel like it's got to be close to that. It's the exact same animation style.
I would think it'd be a little less.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they usually raise budgets when movies do really good. I
Yeah,
guess-
but like I said, every single Lego movie has made less and less.
Oh, that's true. So
So-
maybe they played it safe.
I think so.
I would hope so, because I'm afraid. I'll be afraid that this was the movie that stops the Lego franchise.
I'm going to be so sad if that's the case, but it might be. But I don't know how you make a sequel to this movie either.
That's true. And I feel like, if the original cast was here and the talent was there, so we're not missing out on too much other than a different directing style, but
Yeah.
it felt like a straight follow-up as far as writing and narrative.
Yeah, and now that we're talking about it, honestly, if this is the last Lego movie we get, I would be okay with it.
Sure.
Like, me being a huge fan of the first movie, and this movie I liked quite a bit, I don't feel a need to see a third one,
Sure.
which is weird. It's weird to say on like a franchise movie like this.
As far as reviews go, Metacritic for the Lego Movie 2 is sitting at a 65,
That low?
with the audience at 7.4.
Oh my god.
So
That's just breaking my heart.
I know. Well, I think you alluded to that most of the critics are kind of just mediocre on this.
They're saying like, oh, the first one's a classic and this one doesn't live up. That's what everyone is saying.
And I'm not trying to agree with them, but like I feel like if you enjoy the first one, I feel like you should be inclined to enjoy this one. It's more of the same, but
Yeah.
slightly different.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why people are feeling.
I don't know. I don't get it at all, and it's kind of making me upset. I think it's just people keeping their 2014 mindset in 2019.
That could be too.
I honestly think that's what it is. Because if you rewatch the Lego movie, like I did the day before I saw this one, they're very similar. And I think they do a lot of the same things. And that shouldn't be a hindrance on the sequel.
I agree. I totally agree. Just for comparison, the first Lego movie had a 83 on Metacritic with an audience of 7.3.
I think the Rotten Tomatoes is better for that one.
I think so too. Because right now, if we're just going just off Metacritic,
Yeah.
boy, audience is feeling the same about the Lego Movie 1 and 2 on this.
Okay.
So not too much different. Rotten Tomatoes on the Lego Movie 2 is at 84%, much better. Mm-hmm. And audience is the exact same.
That's good.
But compared to the Lego Movie, 95%
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And that is an 87% audience. So fairly close with audience on both sides, but man, the first one, that's almost a perfect movie.
I think the Lego Movie is top 5 animated movies of that decade. Of this decade we're in right now.
Sure. I would totally agree with that. All right, with that being said, we need to jump into our own 5-star review. And I'll kick it off things off just because I think we might be close. Depends on how much we weigh on it, what we like and don't like.
Okay.
I walked in here with like a solid 2.5.
Oh my God.
Just because it was just
Jonathan.
It was just average for me. But kind of talking out through with you here, and now things are coming back to my mind that I really liked. And I feel like there's going to be stuff I appreciate more down the road. I know it's there.
Yeah.
I think I just missed it. So I think upon home release, it's going to be one of those shelves that you pop in and enjoy. And just now that things are coming back to me and appreciating things more, I'm at a solid 3.
Okay.
3 out of 5 for me.
Okay.
What are you feeling?
I gave the first Lego Movie a 4.5 out of 5.
I would totally agree.
Like I said, I watched all the Lego movies before this just because I wanted to get as amped as possible.
Yeah.
After rewatching Lego Batman movie, it didn't hold up like it did the first time. The first time, I was just amazed at how many references they threw in there.
Sure.
Second time, there was like a 20-minute span where I didn't, like, it just dragged. I gave that one a 3.5. Ninjago's horrible. I gave it 2 out of 5. That's just, not good at all. Lego Movie 2, the second part, is my second favorite Lego movie.
Very nice.
I really do think it's going to get better with rewatches, but my first watch was super solid. The jokes hit just like the first one did. There might be a couple plot points that kind of like linger and don't really go to places that the first one like plateaued and amazing. Mm-hmm. But I think this is a hell of a sequel to something that I would have no idea how they would make a sequel to.
Yeah.
I'm giving this a 4 out of 5.
Very nice.
I liked this movie quite a bit, and I can't wait to see it again, and I know I'm going to see it at least 10 more times.
Tune out for 10 seconds for a spoiler alert. But I actually liked one of the favorite scenes at the end was Emmett realizing that Wildstar was one who originally sang Everything is Awesome.
Yeah.
And just going,
Yeah.
like that one of the last scenes.
That was a good bit.
I really love that bit. So it was really good. On an overall note here, it sounds like this movie needs the help.
Yeah,
I think people should go see it.
I do too.
It's still a great animated movie, and it's worth seeing in theaters. And I kind of want more of this style, especially with Emmett. I love Emmett as the main character.
Yep.
I want to see more of it. So please go support the Lego Movie 2 in theaters.
If you have kids, take them to this because they're gonna like it.
Exactly.
I know they are because mine did.
And it might have been over my head a few times, but there's definitely things in here for adults to enjoy with their kids.
Yep. And that's the best type of movie to see as a family.
Exactly. So go check it out. All right, Jake.
Yeah.
For our trivia portion tonight,
Okay.
I thought we'd tag team another famous internet quiz.
Here we go. Where'd you dig this fucker up at?
This one's from zoo.com, and it's
Zoo?
Zoo.
Zoo.com.
Yep, another incredible quiz website.
What is this about?
This is going to test our knowledge of the first Lego movie, and we're just going to call it Lego Quiz.
Build some questions, form an answer. Lego quiz.
So, got quite a few questions here. I think we'll probably try and knock out 20 of them.
Whew.
And according to this warning paragraph, it gets harder towards the end.
It better.
So let's find out here. Let's see how many we can get out of 20 here in this Lego quiz. Question number 1. What are the tips of Lord Business's helmet horns made of?
Fire, right? Is that
It has
is this
multiple choice.
Okay, good.
Because the fire's not on there.
Oh, great.
Coffee cups, goat horns, door handles, or coat racks?
Coffee cups.
Correct answer.
Okay,
Very good.
I thought so.
That seemed very tough for first
Yeah,
question.
it gets tougher from here.
We'll find out.
Oh my god.
Lego quiz.
Why is the prophecy said to be true? A, because Vitruvius said it. Because Vitruvius' eyes were glowing. Because it rhymes. Because Lord Business doesn't believe in it.
I think because his eyes glowed.
Ah, it was incorrect. Because it rhymes.
Whatever.
Come on, zoo.com. You're killing us. Third question. What is the most important part of being in the Lego world according to the morning manual that Emmett reads? Is it having the right car, fitting in, getting coffee, singing everything is awesome? I'm pretty sure it's fitting in. Because everyone has their place in the beginning of that movie.
They do.
I feel like it's fitting in.
I'll go with you.
That is correct.
Okay.
Very good.
Honestly, all of them sounded correct. So
All right, number 4. Release the Watsits. What did Lord Business wanted released to stop all his enemies in their tracks? Is it A, the Craggle? I think it's the Craggle.
it's the Craggle.
Let's go with the Craggle, and that is correct. All right, so we're 3 out of 4 here so far.
Lego quiz.
What is Lord Business' secret identity? Is it Emmett, Mr. Business, Batman, President Business? It's President Business.
President Business?
Come on, yeah. That is correct. That one was pretty easy.
A little bit.
We'll take it. All right, why do Taco Tuesday in the TV show Where Are My Pants exist? Why do they exist? Because President Business is a nice guy? Because Lego people do deserve a break? Because happiness is needed in the Lego world? To keep people happy and ignorant.
I thought D.
That's what I was thinking too.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay,
Very
good.
good. Very good.
I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but Where Is My Pants comes into play in the second one randomly.
Does it?
You don't remember?
Uh-uh.
When Will Ferrell, like when the mom is yelling at Will Ferrell at the very end in real life,
Oh,
when
yeah.
there's like a pan of the
Yeah.
outside world, he's
Yeah.
like, "Where are my pants?"
I remember that now. Okay. Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is.
Lego quiz.
In keeping with the Lego themes, what's the name of the local sports team? Is it Sports Team, the Bricklayers, the Studs, the Bits and Pieces?
I think it's just sports team.
That's correct.
That's what
Very
I thought.
nice. Very nice. Obviously, some old Lego brand tie-ins couldn't make it, but Lego pulled one for the books. With which brand? So this is Lego Movie 1.
Okay.
Marvel, Star Wars,
Star Wars.
Exxon, or Shell? Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Because wasn't Luke in the very first one?
No,
Maybe it was Darth Vader.
It was Han and Chewie in
Oh,
the
was it?
Millennium Falcon.
Oh, that's right. And that's correct. Very
Yeah.
good.
Which very much bums me out that they couldn't get them again.
I know. Come on, Disney.
Well, the first one came out in 2014, and that's like right around the borderline when they signed the deal.
That's
with
true.
Disney. So
Yeah.
the sequel, they of course couldn't get them.
But for a Lego kids movie, come on.
I know.
Number 9. How did Emmett stumble upon the piece of resistance?
He just fell.
He was guided by a spirit. He had a map. He literally fell into a hole.
That's it.
I think it is too. Let's go with that. That's correct. Very good. Number 10. What's so weird about the head cap? He's doing things a cap shouldn't do.
The head cap?
Uh-huh.
What
Oh,
is-
sorry. I'm sorry. What's so weird about the head cop?
Oh, okay.
I misread that. He's doing things a cop shouldn't do. He's the good and bad cop in one. That's it.
Yep.
He wasn't in this movie either.
Liam Neeson, no, he is not.
That was a great bit.
No, he was in it, but he never said a word.
Oh, really?
He was referenced, and Emmett like threw it over to him, and then he didn't say anything. It just showed his weird good cop face.
Oh, see, that was such a good bit in the first one.
It was. But again, what do you do with that in the sequel?
That's true. Maybe he is security for the wedding.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Sure, you could have thrown that in for a
Yeah,
cameo.
I would go for that. Number 11. What does Emmett have to face up to when the bad cop shows interviews of his workmates? that he doesn't see them as friends, his workmates are stupid, that he's nothing to them, he's just the same as they are.
He's nothing to them.
That is correct. Very good. That's sad. Forgot about that part. That's sad.
Yeah.
Number 12. What's the problem with the piece of resistance now that it's in Emmett's possession? It has his name on it. He lost it immediately. It stuck on him. It crumbled to dust.
It's stuck
Stuck
on
him.
Yep. On his back.
Yep, very good.
Dang old crackle.
These questions are getting easier.
Yeah, they are.
Come on, zoo.com.
Did you fuck up and start with the last
No,
question?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
It's very plausible, though.
Lego quiz.
As a master builder, what does Wildstyle, the strange girl, first build in the Lego movie?
A motorcycle?
A suit of armor, an airplane, a car, a motorcycle.
A motorcycle.
And that is right. Very good.
Yeah.
What are the numbers that Wildstyle sees in her sight when she looks at Lego pieces?
Oh my god.
Oh, I think it's a little easier generic than that. Lego box set and part numbers. How many things can be built with the parts? Their price in Lego dollars. Their rarity value.
The first one, the
Yeah.
part set. Okay, that's way easier.
Because it bleeds into this one too.
Yeah.
And that is correct.
Okay.
Very good. 15. What is Bad Cop really good at using and abusing? Tables, chairs, people, vehicles.
I would say people, but I don't fucking know. I've got one wrong already.
I'll go with people. I could see Bad Cop breaking down. Oh, it was chairs.
Was it chairs?
It was chairs. Oh, dang.
Oh. I remember exactly what it is. He has like a giant pile of chairs that he's throwing at.
Oh, that's right.
Damn
yeah,
it. Damn
okay.
it.
It always comes later.
I should have thought about that for 10 more seconds.
All right. 16. What can the leash remover, Jesus, of No Heel and the fleece crested scepter of Q-Teep do to Lego people? Change their collars, clean them up, erase their faces and personalities, glue their heads in place. It's definitely erase their faces and personalities.
Yeah.
That is correct. I forgot about that scene altogether.
I don't think it erases their personality.
I feel like
Because he like Sharpies on the good cop's face.
Oh, that's right.
And I think it's still him.
Maybe it's the zoo website not doing so well.
Fucking zoo.com. Getting your facts wrong.
All right, what is Vesuvius' staff made of?
Ugh.
A used Q-tip,
No.
some melted plastic, a half-eaten lollipop, a half-destroyed Lego piece.
What? I thought it was a wood staff. I would guess lollipop.
Let's do it. Very good. That was it. Ooh.
I was sweating bullets on that one.
All right, 18. Mostly, where are the soldiers of Lord Business and Bad Cop? Erased Lego people, volunteers, robots, assembled brick people.
Robots.
Robots is correct.
Beep boop.
Very good. All right, number 19. Who saves Emmett, Wildstyle, and Vitruvius from certain death by falling off a cliff?
Batman.
Flash, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman. Batman is correct. Very good. All right, last one. Number 20. What's the joke about Middle Zealand all about? It's where they make Lego plastic. Is a geography joke. The Lord of the Rings Lego line. It's where the studio animated the film.
Did you know Lord Sauron is in Lego Batman movie?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Another reason for you to see it, John.
Well, if he's in that movie, why can't Lord of the Rings character be in the first one?
It didn't fit.
Oh, Gandalf.
Gandalf's in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be a Lord of the Rings joke then.
If you think so, go for it.
Let's go for it. It was correct. Very
Okay.
good.
Awesome.
So at the end of the day, we got 17 out of 20 on zoo.com's Lego trivia.
I'm okay with that, but it didn't get harder as it went on.
No,
it was harder at the beginning.
Yeah, and very weird, obscure questions.
Yeah, very much so.
Like, maybe if you would have watched it just an hour ago, it might be fresh in your mind.
Whatever.
That's been another portion of another great trivia from the internet that we pulled for so many All-Stars here.
You're going in the dark web, John, finding the shittiest shit.
All right, that has been our Lego trivia.
Build some questions. Form an answer. Lego quiz.
All right, that's been episode 73 of Social Media All-Stars. You can find us on all your major social media. You can find us on Facebook, Social Media All-Stars. You can find us on Twitter, SMAS Pod. You can find us on Instagram, Social Media All-Stars.
You can find me on Instagram at Steelbook Obsessed, and you can also see some of my reviews on YouTube at Cinema Obsessed. I should have a Lego Movie 2 review up. I've been working on it a little bit. I didn't like the first draft, so I'm doing a different draft. So,
Gotcha. Very good.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
You can find Cinema All Stars on your major podcast services. And like Jake said, you can find us on YouTube as well. Be sure to like and subscribe there to Cinema All Stars and Cinema Obsessed. A few things in the works, like Jake mentioned, we might hopefully go see Happy Death Day to You.
I hope so. We reviewed the first movie. I feel like
really
we should
liked
review
it.
the second one.
I really liked it.
It was a nice surprise.
It was, especially for a slasher romantic, not more Valentine's Day themed film.
And I think there's an element that was in this movie that might be in. It's weird. There might an element from the Lego Movie 2 might be in Happy Death Day to You if my prediction is correct.
I just wonder if the Groundhog Day shtick wears itself out.
Okay, I'm gonna predict this right here. I know nothing.
Yeah.
But I think that Groundhog's Day and time travel elements will combine.
Really?
And if that happens, I want to review this fucker real bad. Because I know nothing about this movie.
Yeah.
Just watching the trailer, that's what I thought of.
I'm hoping that it's as clever and fresh as the first one.
Yeah.
Its sequels are hard to play.
I remember like a month after the first one came out, they said they were working on a sequel and the idea was batshit crazy, but they had to do it.
I hope that's a good sign then. Because
I hope so too.
The turnaround on this sequel was quick.
Yeah, less than 2 years.
Yeah, I could see them recycling footage.
Like a year and a half.
Yeah.
That's insane.
For filming and post-production.
Absolutely nuts.
Otherwise, definitely in a couple weeks we'll be checking out How to Train Your Dragon 3. Eventually, we'll probably get back to a video game podcast at some point.
I don't know when.
I know.
And I feel bad because Kingdom Hearts 3 came out.
Yeah, I've been playing the hell out of that. I know Andy has, and I believe Anthony is too. So we'll have to probably come around sometime and see what's going back on the video game scene.
Maybe we should do our first spoiler cast if we can.
Yeah?
That'd be kind of fun.
It would be fun. I'm also working on like it's gonna be a weird genre of epic / chorus themed video game music. Basically just very over the top themes from video games I'm pulling together for a YouTube channel.
We make a lot of these for the YouTube channel, and I usually only come up with like one or two, but I've come up with quite a bit for this one.
Yeah, well, how a little behind the process here is we just kind of think of a theme, we throw it out to the group, like what video games do you guys, what songs come from video games do you guys really like to fit this theme?
Yeah.
And we always have great contributions from our group, so I hope it turns out to be a good list, and hopefully we'll pump it out in the next probably 2 or 3 weeks or so. So we'll see how that turns out. But anyway, Jake, I thank you for joining me tonight.
Yep,
Audience,
no
thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
See ya, Hannah. Connect those bricks.
Game over, man. Game over.
Bye-bye.
I am out of here.